Hey guys, we're back playing Mecha Knights. I took a pretty long break, but like I said before, I feel like that the game is slowly coming to an end here. So we'll see. Um, what was I doing? I think I swapped a ton of things out, right? Did I not save? I don't think I saved last time. Whoops. I think it will automatically resume the last time and date, so I should be fine. But So again, I don't care about lock-on, so let's just not bother with that. I think this is yeah, whatever. Um, I don't think I liked any of these last time. I've been debating, I let let me know. I've been debating on playing emulated games too. Because there's some games that like I don't have the systems for anymore, but I have the CDs and DVDs and Blu-rays. Um, so legally speaking, I have every right to play them just on a different system. So I could just start streaming those games. I probably will never do Nintendo ones. I don't own any Nintendo games other than some GBA games. Um, I because Nintendo's just, frankly speaking, Nintendo's just an asshole when it comes to video games and having them streamed or having any type of video of them at all. Like they just, I honestly wish that company would just die out. It's shown time and time again that the leaders over there at Nintendo clearly don't know what they're doing. Um, they treat, I mean, I would never consider myself a fan of anything because to be a fan means to be fanatic, means to be um, something that you praise can do no wrong. Sony can do wrong. It has done several times. Microsoft can do wrong. Has done several times. Nintendo can do wrong. Definitely has all the time. But Nintendo treats their so-called fans like garbage all the time, and that's one of the main reasons why I don't buy any of their products. Um, it helps that I don't have an interest in like Pokemon, or I don't really have an interest in the 3DS. I tried it actually at one point. My brother got it. The 3D effect was actually very cool, but for me, the console itself wasn't anything to write home about. Um, the PS Vita was amazing. Its feature set was absolutely phenomenal. It didn't have the biggest library of games, but um, everything about the Vita corrected all the issues with the PSP, except for maybe battery life and the proprietary memory stick. Like I said, I like some of the products that they make, but it's not like they could do no wrong. Like Sony could have just made a PS Vita with an SD card reader instead of the Memory Stick Pro Duo Micro or some BS. I forgot what it was actually called. But it was another Sony proprietary size of SD card. And they doubled down on it, saying that it was faster or whatever than the other SD cards on the market, which was later proven through somebody hacking the cartridge and doing speed tests between a regular off-the-market SD XC card and the PS Vita card, that was not true, and in fact the PS Vita card was incredibly, like, demonstrably slower. Long story short, the PS Vita had an amazing feature set. It had all the features I would actually want in a handheld. I didn't really care about the camera, but it was nice to have. It solved the R2, L2, R3, L3 by using the touchpad on the back. At the same time, keeping the device durable. It had curved edges, so you can put your palms on it, and it wouldn't like dig into your palm. It had an OLED screen, which to this day, even though it's a low pixel count, was by far one of the richest screens I've ever seen. Maybe because it was glossy on the top, so it didn't have that matte finish. But like the original PS Vita was bonkers amazing. It was, everything about it was amazing except for some of the stuff Sony did that was unnecessary, like proprietary memory cards, proprietary charging port. Man, if it just had been, I think it was Mini B or Micro B at the time, and because USB-C, I think it was on the horizon, but it wasn't quite out yet. If it had been that, plus having a regular SD card slot or a micro SD card slot, it would have been a hot seller. It's because much of the PS Vita's downfall comes down to the fact that the cards cost, like, at that time, it was for 32 gigs of storage, which these games are taking up 2 or 3 gigs or more. For 32 gigs of storage, it was like $50. You could get 32 gigs of storage on a normal micro SD card, and it would cost like $15. And that only scaled and got worse. It was like $140 or $150, somewhere around there, for the 256 gigabyte card. Whereas if you got the micro SD card, I think it was like $70 at the time. It's literally half the price for all their storage. It was that way for all their storage. And then on top of that, they had some funky, stupid connector at the bottom for no reason. It was just a proprietary connector, and its main use was to charge the console, but you could put data through it. You could get like TV out and all these other things through it. That's all supported through USB. I don't understand why you needed to make a proprietary connector for it. It didn't make any friggin' sense. So, the PSP didn't have a proprietary connector, and that was fine. I think it did for power, though. I think it was a barrel plug. But, I think you might have been able to charge it by the USB at the top. I don't quite remember. But either way, it was ridiculous, and I don't even know how I got on this topic. But, yeah, no company's your friend. All the companies want to make money off you, and all companies produce products that they want you to buy. So keep that in mind every time you kind of swoon for a company or comment about how companies' ethics are better than the other companies or whatever. Keep that in mind. None of these companies are your friend. And I mean, it's for some in some way or another, I think games and publishers are kind of the same way. None of the publishers are your friend. Even though they try to be, none of them are really your friend. They're all there to make money off of you. They're selling a product, which is a video game, to make money off of you. That couldn't be more true for mobile games. And you know that if you've ever played a mobile game. The difference is how they approach. Actually, I don't want that. The difference is how they approach their customers. Someone like I mean, a good example would be Deep Rock Galactic. Their development team. They approach their customers as if they were playing their own game. So a lot of the decisions reflect that. So they don't have this giant microtransaction system in that game. They don't have buying skins constantly. I mean, they have DLC, yes, and they are skin packs. But they're optional. They're not like a microtransaction store in the game. There's really not a loot box system in the game. There's like a battle pass thing that's free, but there isn't like a loot box system in the game. And I don't think you can gain any in-game progression from paying real money either. And they constantly add updates to the game for their entire for the entire base that bought the product, not just the one or two people that want to buy DLC for the product. The only DLC they really have is cosmetic. That's a developer and a publisher that, well, yes, they're not your friend. They want to make money. They look at your point of view, and they respect your point of view about the game. And they will listen to the community. That's extremely important. There's been many times where Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo don't do that, especially Nintendo. Nintendo's just straight up... Like, at one point, Nintendo admitted that, depending on what country you live in, it's legal for you to play video games on an emulator as long as you own the game. And then they said, please don't do it. So in other words, shut up, give me money. Buy my thing. The thing is, emulators aren't just another way to play the game. A lot of the times, they're better ways of playing the game. Like, imagine that Zelda Breath of the Wild game. I haven't played it. But imagine that game on a TV at 4K. Or a monitor that's 27 inches at 4K. And not to a dinky 6 or 7 inch screen at 720p. Or not to a TV, when you put it in a dock, at 1080p, at like 30 frames. Imagine a full 60 frame, 4K Breath of the Wild. You can do that. If you, like, I hope you own the game if you're doing that, but you can do that. So I do not agree with Sony, Nintendo, and or Microsoft. Once you own that license to that product, you're entitled to use that product in whichever way that you can play it. That's my fundamental disagreement. Because I wouldn't sell you a cup and then tell you can only use water in it. Right? Like, I'm gonna put drink mix in it, I'm gonna put soda in it, I'm gonna put smoothies in it. Who are you to tell me that I can't put other things in my cup that I bought from you? That's my problem. It's my cup. It doesn't matter if it's digital or physical. It's my... As long as I'm not taking your cup, making a 3D scan of it, and then like using my 3D printer to print it out and claim that it's mine and sell it, I have every other right. So that's my fundamental disagreement with a lot of copyright issues. As long as it's transformative enough, which I know that's a gray area, for whatever parameter you want to specify, as long as it differentiates that thing enough to be considered a different thing, which I get, which I understand is a gray area, that's okay to resell. And it's that's a gray area because it's different for different things. Like music, you can't use, like, I think the same 3 or 4 stanzas or maybe one stanza in the song as another song, something along those lines. I don't remember all the copyright rules, but yeah. For games, it's a compilation of arts put together in one package and sold as a product for you to play. So it is a little different in that regard. Like, I wouldn't rip art out of this game and call it mine. I wouldn't use assets from this game and use it in another game because it's not mine. I didn't license the assets. And what I mean by assets is the parts the mech's made out of, the hangar here, or the car behind, whatever. So there is differences there, but at the same time, like, if I own a game, I own the license, meaning the ability or the right to play that game. There's no reason why I can't play it on a system that is not the system it's designed for. There's no reason why I can't do that. I'm not copying it, I'm not redistributing it, and I'm not selling it. I'm just playing it on a different system. So, I'm in America. It might be different in your country, but personally, that's how I feel about it for pretty much every country. Pretty much the world. You buy something, you should own it unless there is a specific reason, a specific legal reason. Like, there's a lot of medical equipment where I work. There's probably a specific reason why you can't just, walk out of the building with it, even if you did happen to buy it. But I don't know. One of the reasons why emulators exist is to preserve our, you could call it a liberal art, or just a regular art. It's to preserve art. All these games are compilations of huge amounts of time and art. Imagine if emulators didn't exist, they would all be gone.
Are you up for the task?
Jesus.
Command to test fire the most devastating, cutting-edge piece of mobile weaponry ever created. How can you even ask?
Good to hear. Not only do you have to test and ensure that the weapon is optimized for real use, but Command has deemed it possible to kill 2 birds with 1 stone and allow you to clear a path for the enemy and let our troops move towards Kiev.
Absolutely. I'm ready.
Never doubted that for a second, Echo 7. The weapon has already been pushed through testing, but the lab rats back in weapons research need
That's
actual
nuts.
data on
This
physical
gun's
specimens
nuts.
if they're to determine the weapon's effectiveness.
Is it energy based?
And I'm the lucky guy who gets to collect the data. Man, I love science.
So I'm noticing that this gun keeps getting bullets
How
back.
appropriate.
Is designed to fire devastating barrages of laser projectiles, causing massive explosions upon impact. Once the trigger is pulled, the weapon will...
Unleash Ragnarok.
Exactly. The weapon is powered by your mech's internal generator, so mind your mech's energy gauge. Otherwise, you might be in a precarious situation.
Well, I'm glad that my energy just
No other friendly
doesn't
troops
care.
today. Are you not confident in the weapon?
Quite the opposite, Echo 7. The weapon is so powerful that the higher-ups have deemed it safest for you to use it, without any friendlies around. The Air Force is standing by to pick you up when you're done. Have fun. Command out.
Wow. Alright, this gun's insane. Okay. Where can I get one of these? Oh, hey, bud. Oh, you guys are big. After all that, like, looking for, things and stuff, I get a gun like this, and it's just... I don't see the negative here. Like, I really don't. It takes a little bit of your energy, but nothing I'm not willing to sacrifice. And look how much health it just zapped out of the thing. Okay, now he's dead. I guess this is starting to get to the ridiculous portion of the game where you start getting extremely overpowered weapons that I knew I was eventually gonna like work its way up to this. You start getting extremely overpowered weapons that just can't be beat. And it all depends on your skill in dodging bullets. Man, this is cool. I like it. Like, I mean, this gun is basically a,
The Met can't take much more of this.
oh. Oh god, I wasn't paying attention to where I was.
Supply helicopter is on the way. It will reach nearest drop zone shortly.
Alright. There's Bigums. Like, there's so much blood and guts. I actually functionally cannot see what's ahead of me. Half the time.
Man, I love this thing.
Echo 7, this is Command. The higher ups are watching you via satellite. They're very impressed. Not just with the weapon, but your performance as well.
Press that in and die? Imagine having two of these just back to back. God, there's so many. This is why I like the minigun. Just tears through everything.
Echo 7, the supply helicopter will soon arrive at the drop site.
I didn't want it, but sure.
Oh, shit! Command, this is Echo 7. The laser just malfunctioned. I think it's overheated. Either that or it's completely jacked. It's not responding at all. I'm a sitting duck here, Command. Requesting immediate extraction.
Roger that, Echo 7. I'm sending in the cavalry. Move to the designated extraction zone immediately.
Roger that, Command.
Alright, am I done?
Echo 7, this is Pegasus 2. I'm inbound on your position. Stand by for pickup.
Copy, Pegasus 2. Standing by.
Wait, the fuck is that? Break left. Break left! Ah, shit! We're hit! Pegasus 2 is hit! We're going down!
Great.
Say again, we're going down!
Fuck! Command, this is Echo 7. The pickup just got shot to shit.
Roger that, Echo 7. You have to clear out all the laser-type enemies first, before we can call in another bird for your extraction. How copy?
Solid copy, Command. Echo 7 out.
Oh, if this isn't a handicap. Oh, here's a laser type enemy. Oh, he was easy. Easy. Is there another laser type? Yeah, there he is.
Command, this is Echo 7. Enemies have been neutralized. Send in the extraction. Over.
Roger that, Echo 7. Move to the designated extraction zone immediately. Phenomenal job. The higher ops have their eye on you.
Echo 7, this is Pegasus 4. Inbound on your position. Stand by for pickup.
This is Echo 7. Standing by. Out.
There we go. Nothing I want. Cool. Another campaign mission. So this is the final. It says the final battle for Europe begins. So this is probably maybe 2 or 3 parts. So 2 or 3 missions, and then it's probably done. The story's done anyway. Yeah. So the only disappointment about the PS Vita is they couldn't just port games directly over to it. They had to make a game for the Vita. So.
Listen up, Echo Squad. This is it. The most
Ooh,
important
that's a big
operation
tank.
of war. Our allied forces in this area have managed to keep a lid on most of the problems. However, the biggest northern swarm is heading towards us as we speak, and we need to prepare for it.
Understood. So what's the plan? Another kill box?
Exactly. Although savage and relentless, these things don't adapt to military tactics and strategies. So we expect to be able to repeat the success of the Bosphorus defense. A successful defense here will buy us
Whoa,
months before
that's
another
cool.
swarm can attack.
Roger. What do we do?
We need to prepare defensive positions along the western bank of the Dnieper River. That territory is currently occupied by enemy artillery. Those positions need to be eliminated, so we can set up railgun tank positions. Echo 5 and Echo 6 will escort the tanks to their positions, while Echo 7 will move ahead to take out any Type E and laser type still operating within the area.
Understood, Command. We're moving out.
Be advised, Echo 7, the northern horde is approaching. The closer the center of the
Oh
swarm
god,
will get,
92 health.
the
I
harder
need to
the
get out of
attacks
here.
will become. I need that area cleared out ASAP.
Okay.
Solid copy, Command. Echo 7 out.
I took way too much health damage.
How's the new mech?
More importantly, Mia, how the hell are you?
I've been better. The broken ribs are killing me, but fuck! I'm not sitting on my ass when the biggest threat to our race is closing in. I'm just glad to have you with us. Me too. You've really impressed me during our last engagement.
Oh,
I
man,
think you've proven that you've earned the title of pilot by now. So I'm not.
Man, I like the cannon. It's a shotgun.
More Echo
Okay,
5.
it does have this little. I didn't see that before. That little green thing. Man, that's cool. I like it. I don't think I'm gonna be able to use it as efficiently as I want. But the simple fact that it also recharges is really nice. Where's the
Any Allied
missile?
units in the area? This is Colonel Leonard Powell of the 2nd Armored Brigade. I'm 15 clicks away from the defensive position of Kiev. I'm bringing a ragtag of volunteer units, ready to fight the Reds and stop them in their tracks. We will be reinforcing your position within the next 20 minutes.
We read you, Colonel. Welcome to Kiev.
I'm glad I have this one gun that's and I obviously can't get over there, right? That sucks. Ooh, hello.
Command, this is Echo 7. All laser-type enemies have been destroyed.
Solid copy, Echo 7.
Command, this is Echo 7.
There we
All
go.
enemy artillery has been destroyed. Out.
Solid copy, Echo 7.
I need health.
A large wave of enemies is moving towards the railgun positions. Echo 7, I need you to reinforce them immediately.
This is Echo 7. Understood. Moving out.
Where? Where from? How copy? Who? Hello? Okay.
This is Powell. We're under attack. We need help immediately.
Command, advice.
Someone respond. We're getting slaughtered.
Do not deviate from the plan, Echo 7. Mission before man. You know this. We cannot compromise our position.
Understood, Command. Echo 7 out.
Supply helicopter is on the way. It will reach nearest drop zone shortly.
Man, it just takes them down in one shot. It's ridiculous. Like, you can use this as a cluster fire, you can use this as a... I don't know, you can use this for pretty much any situation. I'm really liking this right-hand gun here.
All enemies have been neutralized. Area is clear.
Scans confirm, Echo Squad. Enemy.
Oh,
Good
okay.
work, Echo 5. You too, Echo 6.
That's not a new weapon, right? I don't think that's the new weapon. Might be time for upgrades. Yep. Boost! More boost! See what my boost is now. I'm getting, like, the upgrades are almost done. So I gotta be getting close to the end here. So what's my boost at now? It must be nuts. Yeah, 84. Kinda nuts. Is it 84 times 25%? So I'm going 100? I want to see if I got any new weapons. Not really. Not that I can see here. Anything new? No. Anything new there? No. No. There is. I am detecting a problem here. With some of these parts at least. I don't know if it randomly selects at a pool of parts or what, but like I hardly ever get shoulder or leg equipment. And those are some of the smallest pools of items there are. So I'm wondering if it's just a random chance that you get within that tier that item. And since there's only like 12 or 13 items, oh, actually there's more than that. Since there's only 22? 21. I can't math. Items for shoulders, maybe I just don't get them that often. I don't know. There's something going on where it's not dropping these leg and shoulder attachments very often, or there's specific missions I have to play to get them. Is this the same map, just part 2? I was hoping, I don't know if it's the end, but I was hoping that the story would at least tell me what the Reds are. Whether they're mutated humans or what.
All right, Echo Squad. This is it. Our final hour is here. The fate of the continent and maybe the course of the entire war will be decided today.
This feels like
We
the
need
last
to
mission,
crush
though,
the enemies
unfortunately.
again and stop them in their tracks. If we succeed, it will buy us at least a couple of months to prepare against another swarm. If we don't, Europe will be lost, and millions of people will perish. This is do or die.
We're ready, Command. Nothing's gonna get past us.
Let them come already. My trigger finger's getting itchy.
Be advised, Echo 7. Friendly units have been cut off on the other side of the river. Helping them could potentially support our efforts in defending the main line. I'll leave the rescue to your discretion.
Those poor soldiers.
I've called for every available unit in the region to be deployed to help us. We'll have to hold out until Battle Group Aurelian arrives.
Solid copy, Command. We'll make them bleed. Let's see if there'll be anything left for the reinforcements when they get here.
One last thing. The 2nd Armored Brigade was obliterated in the last skirmish. We have no confirmation on what destroyed their units, but we have thermal scans indicating an anomaly at their position. Stay vigilant, Echo Squad.
Oh, they crossed the bridge.
Roger that.
Echo 7, this is Railgun Echelon Redeemer. We're standing by to fire at your command. Designated target, we'll obliterate it.
I think I got time.
We're ready to acquire a new target.
Oh shit. Any longer and I don't think we would have made it. Thank you, sir.
Glad to see you're still in one piece. Fall back to the line, soldier.
Yes, sir. I see them! I see them! They're coming!
All right, get ready.
Let them come.
Thanks, Echo 7. I thought we were done for.
Head back to the line. I'll cover your retreat.
That was too close. Thank you, sir.
Don't mention it. Now get out of here. It's gonna get a lot worse.
Oh, I feel like there's a lot of things on the screen that I'm not seeing because my game's starting to get a little slow. Yep.
Railguns are ready to acquire a new target. Shit! The IFV is down! They took out the Bradley!
This might be the first time where I have to go on my feet.
Those fuckers took out one of our tanks. New target acquired.
this place is tricky to navigate because of how many tanks there are, and they will stop my path.
Understood. New target acquired.
Echo 7, the supply helicopter will soon arrive at the drop site.
Yeah, sorry I've been so quiet. And sorry about that whole conversation. I don't like companies in general that treat their users like garbage. And perfect examples are just so happen to be Apple and Nintendo. So I just hate both of them on principle. Because if you don't like the consumers that buy your products, then who are you making them for? That's all.
Hell, they got the Bradley.
Get out of here. Oh my god. Huh? Were all the enemies just on that side? That's... Interesting. There's somewhere over here. Are they just taking forever to appear? Like, are they broken? What's going on here? I'm hitting some of them. Oh, okay. They were stuck or something. I think some of the enemies are getting stuck.
Fuck! We got a tank down!
Command, we need backup ASAP. They're punching through our lines. Where the hell is Battle Group Aurelian?
There we go.
They're engaged with the enemy, 2 clicks from our position. Keep holding the line. Wait, alert. Be advised, Echo Squad. The anomaly is heading towards your position.
Yay!
Scans are inconclusive. Whatever it is, it's moving fast. This is unlike anything we've ever seen before. Get ready.
What's happening?
I don't know. Brace yourselves. This might be bad.
Guys, see that? Cheryl, it's heading your way! Cheryl, look out! Cheryl!
What the fuck is that thing?
Cheryl, are you okay? Respond!
Ethan! It's coming right for you!
Oh, this thing.
I'll take care of this. Go check on Cheryl. She might still be alive.
Roger that!
This thing's got a lot of health.
Grid again. The railguns are down. We'll try to fix it ASAP.
Damn it. Talk about perfect timing. All allied units, focus your fire on the other monsters. I'll take this ugly bastard myself.
Kick his ass, Ethan!
This can't be real. This can't be real. This is the nightmare.
Oh, it said its namesake.
Command, this
He's
is
dead.
Echo 7. The anomaly is dead. Mia, how is Cheryl?
We got her out of the wreckage. She's unconscious, but her vitals are stable. We're bringing her back.
Good call.
Shit, we have enemies coming in from behind.
What? How did they get behind us?
That's impossible.
Stop talking. Form up and get ready to fight.
Yes, sir. Fucking hell. They got one of our tanks.
Command, we need reinforcements now, or we risk being overrun.
Affirmative. 8th Armored Brigade dispatched. En route to your position.
What are you talking about? I'm fine. I can take them all on.
There are too many.
We're getting overrun! Where the fuck is Battle Group Aurelian?
Is that thing still moving?
Wait! The thing isn't dead! It's getting up!
Echo 7, the anomaly, it's alive again, and it's mutating?
Fuck! I'm on it. Just keep the rest of the Reds engaged and off my back.
Roger, sir!
Oh, come on. Get me out of here. I'm so glad I can move around like I can. Otherwise, this would be impossible.
I'm taking heavy damage. I need a repair kit.
You sure this time?
Stay dead, you red piece of shit.
Oh, it's a bunch of bodies. Oh, it's a bunch of bodies. Is it like a virus? Is it like a zombie virus that's literally causing these things to grow? Because these things are taller than tanks. Even like super tanks.
Command, the anomaly is down. I repeat, the anomaly is down, but the front is collapsing. Position is no longer tenable. Give the order. I'll cover the retreat. Buy you as much time as possible.
We can't just leave you behind, Ethan! You'll die out here!
All Allied troops, the position has been compromised. Retreat. I say again, retreat. We will be blowing the bridges.
That won't do anything! They can walk underwater like they did in the Bosphorus battle!
It's the only chance we've got to slow them down. Now fall back. I'll hold them as long as I can.
Is it
Fuck
done?
that! I'm staying with you!
Damn it, Mia. That's an order. Now get out of here.
Yeah, I heard you the first time. Now stop your bitching. We got a few Reds to shred.
Mia, if we get out of this alive, I'm not gonna make the same mistake I made at the academy.
If we don't make it out alive, just know I've always felt the same way.
Oh, Jesus. Really?
Let's get those red bastards, or die trying.
Fall back! Fall back! We're not gonna make it!
All Allied units in the area. This is Battle Group Aurelian. Keep your heads down. We're about to unleash hell on the enemy.
Right on time. To all troops in the area, stand and fight. I repeat, stand and fight. The cavalry's here.
They're here!
What, you just suddenly know that they're there? Come on. They've been there for a while. Or they've been creeping up for a while. You just... that doesn't make any sense. As a
Command, this is Echo 7.
command,
All
you would
enemy
know.
forces have been eliminated. I say again, we did it. They're all gone.
I didn't know if you could pull this off, Echo Squad, and if I ever sound like I doubted you, I apologize. This war has pushed us far beyond what we'd ever expected to endure. It's required the collaborative effort of mankind to survive this. But one soldier stood out among the rest, and we owe the success of this battle to him. Echo 7, will you speak a few words?
This wasn't just me. This was all of us. We all did our part in overcoming this nightmare. We all lost friends, loved ones, and comrades. But in the end, we fought out our chance to win this war. I am proud to be serving with all of you. This isn't over yet, though. We still have a long war ahead of us. But now we at least know for sure that we stand a fighting chance against these things. And you can be damn sure that they know that mankind isn't going down without a fight.
Thank you, sir. I wouldn't have survived this long without you.
We did it, squad. I owe everything to you too. And Jake. You were there through everything. The things we've seen, I don't think I'll ever comprehend what we've gone through so far. It's not over yet, and after this battle, I believe we can do it. I might never be able to thank you enough for that, but I will keep fighting for you.
Oh, God. That was a lot of sappy sap. That's it. 20 missions. That was the last one. So the weapons test and Kyiv are the only two raids that I unlocked. Kyiv? Kevin? Kevin! Let's see. That's kind of cool, but eh. High speed boosters. Weapons, right hand. I don't think there's anything new. I just want to see if there's anything new. No, I think that's it. I still never got anything. So, that is the end of Mecha Knight's Nightmare, at least the story. There really isn't much to do other than the raids, which is just a um, wave-based defense or wave-based survival against all the enemies. Um, what was this game, like 12 hours long-ish? Something like that. Um, and it's probably not as long as that. It's probably more like 10 hours. I did like 2 hours of grinding. Um, well, maybe 2.5 hours of grind. I don't even know if you would consider it grinding, because I was just trying to find other mech parts. Anyway, I do think this game has some problems with the way that weapons drop and parts drop. Like I never got any other leg attachments other than the two I got in the very beginning of the game, which is an ammo pack on the right leg and a little generator on the left leg. That's pretty much all I got for the legs the entire time I played the game. So I think there is a problem with the way that items drop. And there's formatting and spelling issues I saw in the game as well. If you saw these videos, you already know what to point out. What I pointed out. Specifically, when I say formatting, I mean like the bars. The number goes way past where the bar is. On some of these weapons, or for the damage, or on some of these things that you can do with the mech. Uh, what would I rate this game? What would I rate this game? Or not even rate. I don't know if I can necessarily rate this game because it's a passion project built for people who like mech games. Um, and I'm sure the person who built it was a mech fan themselves, or not a fan, but mech enthusiasts themselves. Um, I do think highly of this game. Because it's 15, $16. It has what, like 200 parts total, maybe more. Um, for the mech, admittedly, like 60 of them are friggin' heads, or 70 of them are heads. But like, um, there's a decent variety of stuff in this game. Now I feel like some of the assault rifles in particular are too close to each other uh, to really be differentiated. Um, Also, I feel like some of the weapons in general were a little too close to each other to have enough differentiation. So I could have used some improvements there. Simply like, I don't know, having a little bit of visual cues, like changing like the all these guns are projectile based that I saw. So simply changing maybe the colors that come out of the guns, maybe instead of a orange trail, it's a blue trail or a green trail. They did that for like one weapon. They made it a green trail. And the special weapon that I got in the top right shoulder was actually two weapons. So the energy weapons basically are the green trail ones. And then the only one that had another different color was the experimental weapon. It was still kind of orange, but it was a deeper orange. It was more like a red. Um, that's the only thing that, or let the person playing customize the bullet trail effects. Um, just to help differentiate the weapons a bit more. Um, I did like the fact that going from tier 0 to tier 1, there are actual model differences in the weapons. Like, for instance, the Gatling gun. It went from one barrel to basically somebody duct taped two of them together. Um, and make a twin barrel, one handed minigun. That's pretty awesome. Most of the models, most of the assets are actually done pretty well. Um, that and there actually are a ton of them for the mechs themselves, and I can totally see somebody replaying this game a lot. Um, but it's going to get boring. At the most, I could see you getting every single part in this game, which some of the parts, like the legs, would probably take forever because in the entirety of this game, I maybe got three leg parts. Um, so those are kind of my criticism. And the story you can make of it what you want. Maybe it was meant to be as bad as it was because the story, the plot line of the story isn't bad itself. It's the like the acting was just jarring sometimes. um I don't know if it was people who supported the game that did the voice acting. There was just a couple people that did the voice acting. It actually sounded like maybe there was one guy and one girl doing the voice acting for everybody. I don't know. Or maybe one guy, two girls that were doing the voice acting for everybody. Um, I kind of expect that kind of stuff with a $15, $16 title. I honestly didn't expect voice acting at all. Um, they might have even been better off without voice acting, to be totally honest. Um, so the so it's interesting because the music there isn't a lot of it, but the music is actually pretty good in this game. The theme music, the battle music, the sound effects of the different guns, they're not like AAA quality. Obviously, you can hear on some of the guns, some of the effects are they clip before they start, which is kind of like an unpolished sound. Um, it's not a bad thing, and I hope the dev, if he's watching this, doesn't take that the wrong way. Um, there could be some improvements here and there to the sound, even on a budget. I imagine if spent a little bit more time in the mixer or in Fruity Loops or whatever you're using, I'm sure that some of the sound effects could have been softened, so you didn't soften a little bit. So when you start playing the sound effect, it doesn't have that weird bite to it, that weird blip right before it starts. There's a decent amount of enemies, like different variations of enemies, and I understand why there isn't more. Because if there was more different variations of enemies, um, it would be kind of moot. Because every enemy does a particular thing. These small grunts, for instance, they just come up and hit you. The ones that are small grunts but they laser, they're just ranged enemies that hit you at range. And then they just kind of scale up from there. And then you have the artillery that are a little different from everybody else. And then you have the energy beam guys that are the big guys that are different. So there's a decent amount of them. And I think it was fair for the number that there were. in variation, because any more would require you to do something different. Otherwise, it would just be a a copy of the same thing with a different skin. So I think that's fair. The number of mobs and enemies in the game, the different types. Um, I wish it was explained a little bit more what they were. Obviously, this is quote unquote winning the battle, not the war. So if the developer chooses to make another game of this style, or maybe he would hand off the IP or something else to somebody else that really wanted to make something like this, they definitely could and continue the story. Because for so far, it's just I don't know what these things are. They started coming onto our bases and they started shooting at us. We started shooting back at them. Now they're encroaching on like cities and populations. We need to fend them off as best we can. And that was basically the whole story. And then you just go through like small things you see as a soldier where you test and experimental weapons, stuff like that. Small things. But that's basically the whole story. Um it feels like it's a sliver of a humongous story that could be told. Um, there isn't a lot of world building, at least not really. Um, in the very beginning, it actually does have a video, so it does do a little bit of world building, but for the most part, there's not a much contextual stuff around the enemies other than what they look like. Um, but yeah, maybe they're made from a terrorist organization and they made a virus and it got out and the virus mutates whatever it touches and it forms other beings. I don't know. I don't know. So sounds decent for especially for the price. Visual quality is decent. The maps I felt were a little rough. Um, but I thought they were good enough. Like to spend more time in the maps themselves would take away from other areas. And really, it's all about the mech. So the mech, the person who designed this game did an excellent job. Um, all the fundamentals, all the basics are there. It's actually more than I was expecting. I was expecting to be able to paint, pattern, and customize the mech. Um, I wasn't expecting as many parts as there were. Unfortunately, a lot of them ended up being of one category. So I think there were more heads than anything else in this game. Um, and maybe this is just my thinking. You start with the head, right? The head's at the top of the list for the mech, and in every mech game, the head's always at the top of the list. So maybe what ended up happening was the developer had a ton of designs for the head, but then kind of didn't have other designs for other things ready to go. So they just started pumping out a lot of as many parts as they could for the head, and that took like 6 months or whatever. And then they forgot about the rest of it, and then they had to hurry and get the rest of it done. Like I'm sure there's a good reason. I don't know if that's it. It probably isn't, but um, and it definitely seems like there were some concessions made in terms of how the mech works and how the stats work. For maybe the ability of the person together the game, or functionally just a person coming in and trying to play the game itself. Because it's since it's an indie game, you don't want it to be too complicated. Because what will end up happening is nobody will end up playing it because they'll take one look at it and then they'll look away because there's just too many numbers. And at the same time, you don't want it to be too simple because what will end up happening is somebody will look at it and go like, "Well, this is boring." So you got to balance it out so it has less statistical things going on than like Armored Core series does, but it has more statistical things going on than maybe Chrome Hounds or another mech game like Mech Warrior. So, um, I think that's fair. Um, I'd rather have the more complex stuff because the more complex you get, the more ridiculous you can get. Um, I would definitely recommend this to other people that like mech games. Absolutely, go out and buy this. Even if you made it to the end of this video, the game is not the story. The game is the gameplay. For at least for this game. This game has a story, yes, and it's okay, but it's mainly for the gameplay. There's no multiplayer. It's just the story and the raids. Um, so even though it's a story-based game, it's really about setting up your own mech, feeling great about how much you've upgraded from the last battle and how much better you feel, and then all of a sudden having another challenge faced ahead of you and having to swap out guns, having to try different things. That's what this game's about. It does that very well. So if that was the aim of the project that this game was, absolutely nailed it. Um, so my recommendation is if you like mech games, pick it up. Um, there's not much else to say really on it. Um, it seems like the developer did make hot fixes to the game already and has made some extended support for it for like 4K and stuff. So there might be something coming down the pipeline for this game. I kind of doubt it only because it feels like it's even though it's rough, it feels like a complete project, like it's done, and they would make a number two if he wanted to make another one. Um, so um, to those of you out there that like mech games, I already said this too many times. Go for it. 15 bucks is like two lunches. Just just get it, and if you feel like it's not enough for you after like an hour and a half, refund it if you have to. Um, or take a break and play something else and come back and play it casually. It's only a 10 or 12 hour game. Um, unless you want to collect everything, then it's whatever hours you want to put into it. Um, to the developer, if you ever watch this, good job. Make a number two. If you feel the need to still create and you want to continue this, make a number two. Um, it can only get better. Um, not to say that this is bad, but like you have plenty of the fundamentals down. Like everything's here. Everything that needs to be here is here. And um, if you took the same amount of time that you did to build this and adapt it and build it into something else, build it into more, you could easily add like half of what this game is in mechanics onto itself and develop more for it. And I hope you do get enough funding to do that if that is your plan. If you want to go to something else, go to something else. You might want to take some of these mechanics along with you that you've built. I'm sure it took a lot of work and coding and time and mapping. But yeah, I started doing number ratings, but I'm actually not going to do number ratings anymore because I feel like even number ratings are subjective, so why even bother? I'm just going to say whether or not I recommend it. I do recommend the game. If you're a mech fan, go for it. If you're not a mech fan, you might be a bit hesitant. And I'm kind of hesitant to recommend it to you if you're not a mech fan. But even if you like robots, you like EDF style games where it's waves and waves of enemies coming at you, they drop things, you go pick them up, you try to like get around, stuff like that. This might be a game for you. Give it a try. If not, there's always the refund option if you do it within 2 hours. At least through Steam, anyway. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. I'm not sure what other game I'm going to be doing next, but I'm trying to keep it different. Like trying to do different games and not just like do one racing game, then another racing game, then another race. I'm trying to do like different genres, different things. Um, not because Not necessarily because I want to do different things and record it, but just because I've gotten tired of the same types of games over and over again. Like I've been entrenched in shooters for years now, and they all kind of blend together after a while. To be fair, most of the developers make differences in them that are significant, but the action of you looking at something and shooting it in a first-person field of view, doing it over and over and over again, starts to feel samey. So I'm trying to find different things. If you have a recommendation for me, leave a comment down below. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you dislike it, hit the dislike button. I just ask if you hit the dislike button, just tell me why. Just leave a comment down below. Tell me why, and maybe I can uh, either correct myself or correct something I did wrong, whatever it may be. Um, if you want to see the next series, just hit the subscribe and notification bell. You'll get notified. They all go up usually around the same time, or at least the same chunk of them. I might switch it up once in a great while if there's something I really want to play and I just want to get it out there. But otherwise, um, just have a good night, have a good day, and hopefully I'll see you around next time.